and welcome everybody to the food freedom confidence discussion that we got going on today. And we've had a lot of new people join the group, so welcome if you're new. If you are watching the replay, say hey, and maybe replay just so we know. And if you're watching live, say hey, how are you doing? We love to connect with all of you guys. I'm going to get Sierra on here and we are going to get started. So today we are on episode 9, and we're doing a little tiny series on food freedom obstacles. So today is our first one, obstacle number 1. And so when we talk about food freedom, what is food freedom? Food freedom is feeling normal around food, feeling like you can eat what you want and still feel healthy. It's not thinking about food all day, but thinking about it when you're hungry. So food freedom is the ability to choose the foods that you want that are going to serve you and serve your body. So there's some obstacles that come up when we start to be on this journey. So me and Sierra help people. Our clients are people that have been dieting for a really long time, and they are tired of the up and down yo-yo cycle, losing weight, gaining weight, back and forth, staying on track, being off track, and feeling this like just craziness around food, right? Really feeling out of control around food. So when we talk about food freedom obstacles, me and Sierra have a process that we take people, a framework that we help you step by step to create this better relationship with food and with yourself. And so the things that come up when you start to go on this journey of what allowing food, like what does it look like to not restrict your food? What does it look like to eat when you're not on a diet? So there's things that definitely come up, and so Sierra and I want to make sure that we set you up in the best way possible and give you these tidbits of what could happen when you start this journey. So I am Hannah Hips. This is Sierra Spencer. We are donut eating, veggie loving, eating psychology coaches, mind body nutrition coaches. Sierra's a diet recovery coach. I'm a yoga instructor and meditation guru. And we are here to help you feel more empowered with food and live a diet-free life. And so today's episode is obstacle number 1. Are you afraid that you won't stop eating if you start allowing food, or say forbidden food, back into your diet? So let's dive right in, Sierra.
Yeah, is definitely probably one of the biggest obstacles we hear from our clients and from you guys in the group is, okay, I want food freedom, but I'm really afraid that if I allow myself to start eating food and I have freedom, that I just won't stop eating. I'll just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And, you know, it's time to stop this fight with food. It's exhausting. And it's time to start giving yourself unconditional permission to eat. And that's what we're going to talk about that today, because it's scary. But let's give you a little bit of background about what that actually means to give yourself unconditional permission to eat. So we're going to talk a little bit about what does food freedom look like? What does unconditional permission to eat even mean? And then we're going to go into the actual obstacle of, like, are you afraid you won't stop eating? Okay. So here's the thing, and you guys might know this, right? You might have experienced this. If you tell yourself you can't have something, or that you shouldn't have something, or you can't have, I cannot eat sugar. Or I remember when I used to be a teacher and there was donuts in the break room, like at least 3 times a week. And I'd be like, I can't have that donut. Like, it's not allowed. Like, it was just like the donut was like the ultimate terrible food. And what happens is, if you tell yourself you can't have it, or you shouldn't because it's too high in sugar, too high in carbs, what happens is it can lead to intense feelings of deprivation. And that deprivation builds and builds into uncontrollable cravings, and often binge eating or overeating. And you guys, if you're watching this, have you experienced this before, where it's like, okay, I'm not going to eat the donuts, I'm not going to do it. And then maybe it's like you last a whole day, maybe you last a week, maybe you last 30 days. And then you're finally like, I can't even, like, I can't more. And then the next time those donuts are in the break room, it was like I was like going back and sneaking some in my purse. Like I was like uncontrollable, right? So what happens is when you finally give in to your forbidden foods, eating is experienced with so much intensity that it usually results in that like Last Supper mentality, or you're overeating and there's a ton of guilt. And that guilt, that shame is what drives the cycle. So like, for example, I remember when I was vegan, I went on a vegan diet and all I wanted was bacon the whole time. All I craved was bacon. I never craved bacon, but when I was vegan, all I wanted was bacon. And then I went keto. I did paleo and like this low carb keto, and all I wanted was a banana. Right? Like I just wanted a banana, but that's too high in sugar, too high in carbs, right? And then when I was on another different type of low carb diet, all I dreamed of was like a piece of bread. So it sounds pretty ironic, but it's actually a very natural reaction that's triggered by the limitation and deprivation that comes with most cleanses, diets, 30-day challenges, right? Have you had this experience? Maybe share with us in the comments, like, okay, when I was on this diet, this is what I craved, right? Like I've heard people like, when I was on the grapefruit diet, all I wanted was an apple, right? So yes.
It's so true. And I just want to give an example. Today I went into Dunkin' Donuts and I did not get a donut. And I love donuts and I would eat a donut, but it's like I know that I give myself permission to have a donut. And it's like when you go into one of those places, you're like, I must have one. And I was like, I could have one or I could not have one. And I chose not to have one today. I had avocado toast instead. But it's like, that's freedom, right? It's like the donut doesn't choose me. I choose the donut or not the donut. And that's what we want to empower you with, because as Sierra was saying, like anytime we restrict a food, then we want it even more. The cravings for it begin to intensify and increase in like huge amounts. And so restriction is the key cause of any kind of like craving, intense craving, I would say. And also it's like when you give yourself full permission, like Sarah was saying, it's like without the guilt or without the shame. When we are eating, so what this is what happens. We hear a lot, well, I'm letting myself eat whatever I want. I'm letting myself have the cookies. I'm letting myself have the candy, and I'm like eating so much of it and it's not going away. And then our next question is, well, are you giving yourself full permission or are you still feeling guilty about it? Majority of the time, people are still feeling guilty about allowing themselves to have the thing that they have called forbidden. So if you have guilt with any of your food, that means you're not giving yourself permission. And so if you are not giving yourself full permission, the craving is always, it's going to get intense and you're never going to feel satisfied. You're always going to feel like you need more. So we just want to make sure that you understand the difference between allowance and semi-allowance.
Right, because what happens is we'll have people, and we're going to talk more about this next week. It's called pseudo dieting, but really it's like this is what happens is people try to like do food freedom, or they try to do intuitive eating on their own, and what happens is like they give themselves full permission and they go crazy and they're eating and eating and eating, but nothing's changing, and that's typically because they haven't gone through the process of like really getting rid of this mentality of all or nothing, the good and bad food mentality. And there's a process that we walk people through to help your brain and your mindset change. Otherwise, you'll just keep eating and feel guilty, and then you'll feel like even more crap, right? So when you truly free your choices without any hidden agendas of restricting in the future, right? Like, I'll eat this cheesecake tonight, but tomorrow, just salads. That is another way that we restrict, and that's gonna, right? So we teach you how to get your brain out of that. And it is scary, but this is how food loses its power. Like Hannah said, she could go into Dunkin' Donuts, and here's the thing. At the beginning, yeah, you're like, oh my God, I need a donut because I haven't had a donut in so long. You eat the donut. But now that Hannah has gone through that, and myself, now that we've gone through that phase, it's like I can go into Dunkin' Donuts. Hannah goes into Dunkin' Donuts. She's like, like I'm good. I'm good. I don't really want one today. Like, it's no big deal. That was not a restriction. She's not on a diet. She's not trying to do low sugar. She just didn't feel like it. Her body didn't want one. We want to teach you that body trust, right? So the biggest, if you know, the biggest fear again we hear is that if you give yourself permission to eat, that you won't be able to stop. And that you'll just keep eating donuts and donuts and donuts until you're 600 pounds and like you'll never be able to stop. But what happens is research actually shows that people tire of eating the same kind of food. It's called habituation. And habituation studies have shown that the more that a person is exposed to a particular food, the less appealing it is, right? So like if, for example, when I was going through my food freedom, like I did eat a lot of donuts. Like I just felt like I needed to because I had been restricting. And after about like a week or two of just eating donuts, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done. Like I'm sick of these. I am done, right? Another client we worked with, hers was like this special carrot cake from this bakery, and she only had it like once a year, and she obsessed over it. When she had it, she would eat like almost the whole cake. So our homework for her was like, all right, we'll go buy the carrot cake. She's like, well, right now? I'm like, yeah, go buy it right now. So she did. She bought it. She's like, I ate a slice every night for a week. And she's like, I still want it. I'm like, okay, go buy another cake. Because guess what? You know what? At the beginning, maybe your body's like, whoa, like this is a lot of sugar. I'm not really feeling so good. But guess what? We're healing the mental part. It took her 2 weeks. So 2 weeks of your physical body feeling kind of bloated and crappy. And then after that, it was like carrot cake was not a thing for anymore. She could have it every now and then. She could say no. So the food lost its power. Okay. So the only way that you'll be able to believe that you'll be able to stop eating is to actually go through the food experience and actually eat. Like this client, she had to eat the carrot cake. She had to experience, she had to go through that process. That's why we call it a process, right? Because it's not about like just knowing she had to eat the carrot cake wasn't going to give, like she wasn't going to get power. She actually had to go through the process. It's like trying to learn how to play the guitar by watching a video. You actually have to pick up the guitar and try to play it, right? You can't just watch the video and know how to play the guitar. You can't just hear us talking about food freedom and allowing yourself to eat food and just be like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I bet it'll just happen if I keep watching. You have to allow yourself to eat. You have to go through the process. And it's a little bit of, it takes practice. It's a bit of a struggle. It's a struggle, but that's why we created our programs to help you get through that stage easier and faster and with support.
Yeah, because it can be really scary to do it on your own, and you can feel like you're doing it all wrong on your own, right? But if you have the support from other people, we were talking to one of our clients last week, and she's like, I think I'm doing this all wrong. I'm like, well, tell me what you're doing. She's like, I'm allowing myself to have the gummy bears, but now that I'm thinking about it, I only have a few and I'm okay. I'm not eating the whole bag anymore. I'm like, it's working,
Right.
because she's given herself full permission to do that. And, it can be, you can feel a little bit crazy and out of control as you go through this process. And I love how we just like, that's why Sierra just said it is a process. And the actual doing it, it's so easy to say, yeah, I can love myself. But if you do not actually love and feel the love from yourself, like it's not going to integrate. You have to integrate what we're teaching and experience the whole thing. Taste the food, eat the food, feel really full from the food, and then say no to the food, right? Isn't that what we want? We want the power to say no, because most of the people that we talk to don't have that power. The food has the power, and we're here to empower you so you have the power back again, so you can take back your life.
That's right. And so if anything in this video resonated with you today, we want to let you know that our membership, our monthly Empowered Eating membership is open for enrollment. You can still join and learn more and go deeper. You can start learning our process help your mindset change around food. You have support, you have community. We have Q&As, we have guest speakers. It's a great community of support. You're not alone in this journey, and we have a place for you to start that journey. You can also schedule a free call with us. It's a no sales call. We just get to know you, Hannah and I are really good at very quickly seeing where people are kind of making a wrong turn, or there might be a blind spot that they can't see. So we can help you look at like, what are your next steps, and what resources can we send you to help you on your food freedom journey. So whether that's you're interested in a membership, or you're interested in doing a quick call with us so we can give you some more resources, please feel free to comment below, I'm interested, or me, or I need some more support, or send us a private message and we'll get you started on your way.
Awesome. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.